back into trading again. I am looking at the 4-hour chart down here and just kind of reanalyzing all my information. And you can't see it on the screen, but I zoomed out all the way back to May, and I drew in some support and resistance lines for the bouncing points that I saw back then, and I projected them to where we are now. So you can kind of see that they match up a little bit with where we have bounced here and here, which I think is very interesting. And then I also drew in a Fibonacci line. I started at this peak and this trough and then this peak here, and it laid out the Fibonacci lines, and it actually matches pretty well with what we see. The 100% is right here, and then there's another line that actually matches up with the price line that I drew in right here, which also matches up with the SMA. And then the bottom Fibonacci line is almost exactly the lowest point that it bounced off of a couple days ago. So I think that's pretty accurate, the Fibonacci line there. And so now we're trying to figure out, well, what's the next move? And we can look at went ahead and placed a short order because I was kind of inclined to think that it was going to drop, and because it kind of hit a resistance level here, and I think it probably is going to drop next. But we shall see. All right, so then over here we have the 30-minute chart and the 1-hour chart, and we have bounced off of this support level here. Slightly concerning, but I still think generally speaking it's probably going to drop. So I put in my order, kind of waiting for it to come to fruition here. This is looking good. I'm down to the 15 and the 30-minute charts, which are my two main ones that I use while I'm in the midst of trading. The initial analysis, I like to look at the longer term ones, but then I go to these. All right, so it's right where I got in, hoping it's going to drop. Looking good. Went ahead and got out and made 162 on my first trade. And I'm just playing it cautious because I do think that's a better way to trade and not holding on to things for a long, long time. But that being said, the next trade I made, I got into a short with 2 minutes and 48 seconds left before the opening bell. And I was kind of thinking it would be nice to get out before the opening bell because sometimes it just moves so fast, it's hard to react that quickly. The MACD is looking good here, but then it decided to go up. And I put in an exit order at a place where I thought it was pretty reasonable, but yet it would be a really good trade for me. And it would make me, close to 400 if it executed. And I still think it's going to drop. It's going to go up a little bit. It looks like it did go up to that point. Just kind of watching it still, and it actually went all the way up, and you can see on the 15-minute chart, the wick actually touched those two SMAs that you see right through there, and it also matches with the SMA here on the 30-minute chart as well. So it did go way up, and at one point I think I was in a loss position of like over $450, but I just held on to this one. And now, of course, we're 10 minutes past the opening bell. So I held on to this trade for a long, long time compared to what I normally do. And the reason I did was just because I was thinking more of the long-term pattern, and I didn't think it was probably going to go up too far. Not sure if that was a real foolish move on my part or not. When it started to drop, I felt like I was justified in holding on to it, and I was glad to see that. I probably could have put in a stop order up here, and maybe I should have. But when you do that, you might accidentally get filled like the last little push upwards, and then you lose the max amount that you possibly could before it drops. And I thought it was going to drop. So, I don't know. Not sure what to think about that one. But it did drop way down, and I'd never ever even touched that exit order. It dropped right down to it. Now, one thing I did do, which was pretty foolish, and I kind of knew it when I was doing it, but I did it anyway for some reason, is I sandwiched the order with it ended up being 2 limit orders actually. And so the order that I placed here, I wanted to make sure that it didn't bounce off of that point and not execute. So I put in an order on the other side of the price action. And so it filled, but then it immediately went up and executed the next order that I had put in, which I didn't really want filled, which was a long order. And and then I immediately got into a long position, and I didn't think that that one was going to probably do very well, so I placed an exit order, and you can see the price action actually went way up. It bounced off of that, and being a limit order, it's not going to take it right here. It's going to take it at this place or even better, and it did. And so I accidentally, on that last trade, made another $137, and that was just pure luck. I shouldn't have put in orders that close together because you just can't cancel them quick enough. But, I'll take it. So I just shouldn't have done that. So anyway, thanks for joining me.